And so it begins.
It begins!
Shall we begin?
So it begins. And now it begins.
So it begins.
And so it begins.
And so it begins.
Shall we begin?
Shall we begin?
And so it begins.
And so it begins. And so it begins. So, shall we begin?
So, it begins.
Shall we begin?
Shall I begin? Shall we begin?
Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
Hello, everyone. Good to see everybody. It is just going to be me today going solo. No guests today. I feel like just chatting a little bit, a little one-on-one. It's been a while since I've done a solo live stream, so I figured why not? There's some things that I've seen recently that I feel like talking about. Last week, we had both OG Star Wars on Alora, and we reacted to a fan film about a drunken Jedi teaming up with a Mandalorian that had a super country accent. That was a little interesting one. It didn't leave me feeling satisfied with the premise enough. It was funny, but hopefully that person will make another one and we can react to that too. We also had Melanie Mack on last week, which that was fun. And we also reacted to the epic rap battles, Indiana Jones versus Lara Croft, a little rap battle, so that was fun. And yeah, I'm gonna turn the reaction parts of those streams into their own videos in the future and upload them later. Curtis YZ is in the chat already. What is up, broski? Good seeing you. Good seeing you. And we've also got Saga Nerd 1991. What's up? Says yo. How's it going? Hope you guys are doing good as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna be talking about random stuff. So if you guys want to put things in the chat to talk about as well, feel free. I will comment on those as we go as well. Yeah, I figured I'd start with, because we just literally, I just saw this morning. The Power Rangers Once and Always trailer for Netflix has actually released. They've been given little bits and pieces of videos out for that for the last couple of months now. And now we've got an actual trailer formed. And if people don't know, I am a huge Power Ranger fan. I freaking love it. Grew up with it. And I've seen a lot of the seasons. I have not seen all the seasons. There's maybe a good 8 that I haven't seen. I think I'm not even sure what the total number is at the moment. And they started doing the 2 seasons with one like Ranger team again in the last couple of years. So I might have missed more than I think. But based on the trailer for this one, and this is a reunion one. It's a 30-year anniversary thing that they're trying to do. Unfortunately, it does also. It happens to be around when Jason David Frank, the guy who plays Tommy Oliver, committed suicide in the last year, and that is unfortunate. That sucks. But, I don't think he was going to be in this. I'm not sure. It seemed like he was already working on another project, The White Dragon, and that was with Bat in the Sun, a little fan film project. He was always good at doing fan projects with fans and doing extra material. He's been in the most episodes of Power Rangers. He's been like the most cameo type of things ever, as well as just being in the most episodes. And yeah, it was pretty much the guy for all that stuff. So I know a lot of fans are going to be looking at this and being, if he's not even in it at all, a lot of fans are going to be disappointed. But I don't know. I think he was focusing on what he was trying to do, what he was passionate for. And at the time, it was White Dragon. Maybe he came back to do something with the new movie here, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked into all the details about it. But just first impression of this, regardless, going on to just how it looks as it is. They've got Walter Jones back. They've got David Yost back. They obviously can't have the full original cast because the person who played as Trini, she died in a car crash a long time ago. Austin St. John, the original Red Ranger, doesn't look like he's shown up in this. I'm not sure why. I assume he just didn't want to show up for it. I mean, he liked being in Power Rangers. He did return in Zeo as well. And I think he was in another cameo appearance at one of the anniversaries, I think. So it's not unlike him to come back for a thing, but it seemed like they're having just a specific angle with this, maybe. So maybe there's a reason why he's not in there. It seems like they have Rocky coming back in there, which he was on the team too, but the team they have formed isn't the original team exactly. There's different versions of the Mighty Morphin era. There's a couple different Rangers in that section, but I don't know, my first impressions is not very positive. Exactly. It's not too positive. Like, it looks fine. I'm glad they're making this. It's good that they're doing a reunion thing. But my concern is always with continuity, and I know Power Rangers has not been great on continuity for the longest time. Power Rangers can be very spotty when it comes to that, partly because they have to work within the parameters of whatever Sentai does and what footage they're given and what they have to work with. So a lot of it has to do with that. I get annoyed when it's like the Mighty Morphin powers should have been like destroyed already, and they've done a few things where they're able to resurrect the powers, I suppose, which I guess worked for what they were, but ultimately I'm kind of like, oh, the power should kind of stay dead because you said they were, and that means a lot more if they can't access it again. But that's just my opinion on that. And yeah, I mean, I'll have to see what they do. Based on the trailer, there's some things that might work for it. There's some things that might be explained. The Rita has returned in this. She's got her putty army, and it seems like they're phrasing it as if she kills the Yellow Ranger and that her daughter is in this. So that is something. There's going to be time travel in this, and maybe that'll explain why there's no of the modern teams, perhaps. So they can only send a few people back at a time, and they've got to deal with it. Maybe that'll be their workaround for this, but we'll see. I guess that's all I got for the information on that. Let's see. So Curtis White, he's in the chat still. He says, "Hope you're doing well." Yo, Rook and Saga. Yep, I'm doing good, man. Doing very good, very good. Hope you're doing cool as well. Saga Nerd says, "I'm actually in the middle of watching Hercules: Legendary Journeys, classic '90s nostalgia, because the modern crap sucks." Yeah, that is a good idea to turn to older stuff. That's part of the benefit that we have with a lot of stuff. We're born in a time where there's a long history of there being other different variations of quality with a lot of media. So, like, even though like Hollywood can shovel out a bunch of crap today, but we can just go and spend as much time as we want looking at stuff that has come before that is pretty good. Like, there's some stuff in the past that I think kind of sucked too, and there's some things now that I think come out that are okay or that are pretty good. But it's more rare to have something good that comes out these days compared to within the last 30 years. But there's a lot of good stuff to find going backward as well. That's what I've been doing all the time lately. I saw American Psycho recently. I've been watching a bunch of older films. I'm trying to watch a lot of the newer ones too to be caught up, like Tenet. I saw Bullet Train. Trying to be someone in the loop. I saw 65. I saw all of the Scream movies last week. I right before seeing Scream 6, I watched all 1 through 5 for the first time. So I had all that in my head, and now I'm a huge fan of this freaking franchise. I love it. And yeah, now I'm trying to see John Wick 4. I did watch the first 3 John Wicks. First one I think was fine. I wouldn't even say that John Wick 1 was great. It was okay. And there's a lot of the film technical stuff in it was freaking awesome. The gun fu was incredible. Freaking love it. The way they show it works well with the music too. Looks good. But honestly, there's not much to the character in 2 and 3, and there's not much story there. So my investment in John Wick is extremely low. Like there's nothing that I'm really caring about. There's not one moment where I'm like, you know what? I think that he's going to struggle a lot and die, or he's going to lose something important, or like, what's the point of all of this? It just seems like there's a lot of stuff happening, but there's not much motivation or reason for it to happen. So while he's doing all of his fights, there's nothing that I'm chewing on in the back of my head that's making me root for John Wick or making me think about anything else about the story. It's just he's going to be fighting the people that are trying to kill him, or he's going to try to kill the people that will probably try to kill him. And I don't know, it just seems kind of lame, but I could be wrong. John Wick 4 might recontextualize things to make it seem a lot more interesting, but not so sure about that. Chris Weisey says, "I'm only watching the old stuff currently." Yeah. See, I think it's good to watch a mix of old and new, because I watched the whole Last of Us series, which I think was pretty good, even though a lot of people don't like it and think it was pretty shit. I'm going to rewatch this at some point, and maybe I'll think differently on it. But I also go back and I'm watching older things. I'm rewatching Planet of the Apes as well. We're starting out, Black Angus and I are watching the sequel or the rebooted versions of the Planet of the Apes, like the trilogy, and then we're going to go back and watch the older versions and see what we think with the differences there. Saga Nerd says, "I only ever watched the original Power Rangers, LOL." Well, Saga, I wonder what you think. So I'm probably in one of the rarest camps on this opinion. I think that the original Power Rangers, as nostalgic as it is, as good as some episodes are, like the Green with Evil arc, of course, I think that it's like Mighty Morphin compared to the rest of the seasons of Power Rangers. There's like 30 seasons of Power Rangers. I don't know if Mighty Morphin even really cracks top 10 in quality, but there's a lot of reasons for that. And there's a lot of things that other seasons do that I think are better than what they do with Mighty Morphin. Like trying to sit down and watch episodes of Mighty Morphin compared to watching episodes in like Time Force or Lightspeed Rescue or Galaxy or In Space or other ones, it is a little difficult to get through a lot of episodes in Mighty Morphin personally. However, the Mighty Morphin movie, like the Mighty Morphin movie with Ivan Ooze, as weird as that movie is, and there's some things in it that are also kind of dumb, like the pig henchman. Golnar is kind of with it. They just shove Rita and Zed aside. Ivan Ooze is weird. That movie is still actually a pretty darn good movie. Like I rewatched it, and then I also watched Turbo, and it's like, wow, the Mighty Morphin one was really, really good. They knew what to focus on in a movie. And then you go to Turbo, and it just seemed like a pilot episode of a TV show that they put on, these released in theaters, and they had like half of an idea there, and they just didn't really know what to focus on with it, and just did not hit the same way. But let me know what you think, man. I want to make videos one of these days talking more about Power Rangers because I have so much that I want to say with it, but there's so many other things that I'm trying to do right now that Power Rangers just isn't at the forefront of what I want to make for content. But one of these days, I do want to go more in depth in my reasonings for my opinion on Power Rangers. But anyway, going down, Curtis YZ says they'd have to make Power Rangers very real and gritty for me to get into it, kind of the opposite of what the show is. I see what you mean, and I think there's some fan films that do a pretty good job at that. You've probably seen the one that I think is called like the Bootleg Universe one. It's like super dystopian. It's the Machine Empire. Like they've pretty much taken over the world, and it's like just a crazy hellhole and death and destruction. You'd probably like that one, but I'd recommend a series that I think has that dark, gritty quality while also keeping some of the original corny goofiness. Is the Power Rangers Unworthy fan film series, because the characters they make with that, like literally just straight up kills Rangers, just straight up is killing people, but they also have a sense of the feel of Power Rangers. So I think that one might fit your taste. I'm not sure. If you've already seen that, let me know what you think about that, Curtis. That should just be available to watch on YouTube. So it says, yeah, that's true. Same thing with Ninja Turtles. We have yet to see them go back to their original roots. Yeah. Yep. True. I see. I didn't grow up with the Ninja Turtles. I have seen the movies. Like I've seen the 3 movies with the Ninja Turtles, and I did not watch the cartoons. I think I've seen like the Batman. Yeah, I saw the Batman team up one with him and the Turtles, which was very odd. Like universally, like whatever continuity they're going with, I don't know, because I never grew up with either of them. So, but they were always around. So I just thought it was interesting what they chose to do and how they had Batman compared to the Turtles and stuff. I thought that was a fun interaction. Like what happened if these characters met up with each other? And that was done pretty well. John Wick 3. What about said, yeah, I stopped at the beginning of John Wick 3. Yeah, John Wick 3 is pretty much just some awesome fight scenes. There's pretty much nothing else to it. I think Halle Berry's in it, and she's in a spoiler, one of her dogs gets killed, and then she and him and her other dogs kill a bunch of people. And that's just all that there is to really get out of the scenes. It's like, oh, it looks like they're killing people, huh? And that's all we're getting. It's just like, oh, okay. So what am I supposed to? It's one thing if I'm okay if I don't have the sense of John Wick is going to get himself killed or that something's at stake, something's at risk. But I want there to be something else that I'm thinking of in the back of my head, or another character to care about, just something. But even the side characters in John Wick, I don't really give a fuck about. So it's hard to get invested. So the fact that I'm even going to go see John Wick 4 in the theaters, the fact that they even made a John Wick 4, I think is insane. But I'm going to go see it in theaters. This will be the first John Wick that I'll have seen in theaters. I don't want to see it at all. but I am trying to get into the habit of actually watching movies again and being current as well, because I've always struggled at being current with things. I'm not good at just, okay, I'm watching something and I'm going to give my opinion on it and I'm going to stay with it. Like me even doing the live stream right now, I don't want to. I have a headache right now and I just don't want to. I'd rather be writing. I've been trying to get back into writing as well. I'm trying to be a filmmaker. I'm trying to bring things to life. I'm trying to get back into filming. But I need to also do this because I am monetized on YouTube for some of my stuff. But the Fandom Collective, even though we've had that for a while too, isn't monetized yet. And it's like I haven't given it the attention. I've been focusing on other stuff. So I'm trying to actually spread the love again and get back to it and get back into talking with you guys, because I feel like we've been around this whole time, but we haven't interacted enough with the community to, for you guys to oh yeah, they're still around. You guys are still around. Sweet. So I'm trying to get back into that as well. Yet the JDF man of worthy respect. Yeah, so as much as I'm a weirdo where I have the opinion that Tommy Oliver as a character isn't, I think he's overhyped as a character, but Jason David Frank, like the actor, is like on another level in general. Like his ability to connect with fans, his ability to bring out his character wherever he goes, his ability to like be involved with other fan projects that aren't just with the original Power Ranger stuff is freaking awesome. And he in general is an inspiration to people. He is, martial arts and all that. Good dude in general. So yeah, sucks that he's gone. Interesting. Not seen them. All right. I see. It's funny when I'm reading your comments here. I'm like, okay, so I'm reading them a little bit after you have put them down. So I am not exactly sure what specifically that's responding to, but I don't know. You didn't miss much. I assume he's referring to the John Wick stuff. Talking about Justin Proper is in the house. What's up, man? He says, "Hey, rookie, have you watched Star Wars? That'd be great as a first-time reaction." Star Wars? I don't know that of what you speak here, Justin. What Star Wars? I don't know. I mean, having suns battle each other from different solar systems could be interesting. Firing lasers, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. Let's see. He says, "I feel you. Want to create." Oh, yes. Indeed. Justin says, "I haven't seen John Wick. Are the first couple films good?" No. I mean, so I just went through it. I mean, if you, like I said, the gun fu is awesome. There's a lot of good filmmaking stuff that's great. His motivation in the first film is his wife's dead, his dog gets killed. He goes on a rampage. For the most part, it's understandable. Though, in a way, it's a little bit of an overreaction, but it's understandable enough. It's easy enough for an audience to get into and get behind his character, that he's getting vengeance for the dog, and his wife, essentially, by extension. But after that's all taken care of, it's kind of like, honestly, there's not much to chew on with the movie in it of itself. Like what happened has happened. That's all that there was. It's not like with Lord of the Rings or something where you can't just say Frodo and Sam went and put a ring in a volcano. Like there's a lot of detail of things that happen along the way. In John Wick, it's like he has to fight a lot of people and then he wins. Is essentially the way of the events. So it's so minimal. It's a great popcorn kind of thing where thinking is just not really needed for it, because there's no complexity to anything happening. It's just he's fighting them. Okay. It's so weird because I love it for what it is on the surface level. I just wish there's something to chew on in the back of my head while I'm watching it, but there's nothing there. I'm not going, oh, and what about this? And he's doing this because of this, and that other character is interesting because of that. There's really just nothing there. So, I mean, that's how I feel about John Wick. I'm going into John Wick 4 extremely negative, hoping to be proven wrong, but I'm going in just with almost no faith, though. I have 1% chance of faith that it's going to be interesting, but I completely doubt it. Curtis YZ says, "I haven't seen the fan films and didn't miss much John Wick 3 based off your description." Exactly. Yeah. You'll be fine. In fact, you'll be better off just honestly not watching John Wick, probably. 1 and 2 are cool, at least to me. Yeah, that's cool. I can see why people would see that John Wick is a cool series. Like, I will not deny that, but it's not the type of one that I'd want to see. That's just it's just so simple, and I don't know. I like simple stuff, but it depends on how it is, on what's happening that makes it that way. I guess the way that it is in John Wick is just not for me, man. Justin Proper says, I imagine Star Wars is like the sun and moon and gods are at odds. The planets follow the sun, the meteors follow the moon, and the planets and meteors have to come together to fight against tyranny. That's what I was thinking when he said, Star Wars, it's the war of stars. Like, you have other suns. You've got the red ones, you've got the yellow ones, you got the giant blue ones, you got the brown ones that are like husks and destroyed. You got the wise stars, you got the new young ones, the hot shots, you got ones that have blown up and reincarnated into a new solar system. You've got the planets, you got the red giants, you got the different factions, the general planets, the little meteors and stuff that are like some of the more fodder astral bodies or something. You can have an awesome little. I think that'd be an interesting series if they literally made Star Wars, like if they made a Star Wars thing with a war of stars. That would be fun. That would be fun. It's nothing worth hyping up. Yeah, it's nothing worth hyping up as it is. Besides, Keanu's doing a good job, I guess. Yeah, Keanu's great. Keanu's a great actor, and he puts a lot of effort into his filmmaking, which I think is something that should be, if it should be watched, it should be for Keanu and his dedication to the role and getting the stuff to look as good as it can. Kind of like how Tom Cruise puts a lot of effort into his films. I don't really like Tom Cruise, but I appreciate the hell out of him for wanting to put so much work and effort into making stunts look really freaking good. So I can't fault him on that. That's something to give a little credit for. I did not like the first Top Gun, and I did not see the second Top Gun. I didn't hate the first Top Gun. I'm saying it was an overhyped kind of one to me. The first Top Gun, it's like, oh, Top Gun, oh, woo, it's so great. To me, it's just like, it's fine, I guess. I don't know. It's hard for me to put myself into the shoes of back then all the time and see, oh, how amazing this is. Because looking at it now, I'm just like, it's fine, sure, but a little overhyped to me. But I'd still respect Tom Cruise for his work in that. So, and the sun and moon and planets and meteors have goofy human face. I'd rather them not have the human faces. Honestly, they should be just like my tomatoes from my stop motion, where they have no face at all. They're just round. They're just a sphere, and you can hear a voice come out of them, but there's no mouth. I'd rather that than have the goofy faces. I hated the Cartoon Network or Adult Swim like orange talking thing. It's a with the face animations. I hate those. Those are not funny to me. Those aren't like cute. Those aren't. No. The sun goes supernova, and in the climax, the entire universe gets engulfed in flames. And then we get introduced to the multiverse, where there's a whole extra amount of universes that also have the same. Oh my god, no, that'd be too much. LOL, same. Didn't like Top Gun 1. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you. Justin says, does Keanu have a fleshed out character? He's not fleshed out at all. There's some intrigue to him at first, and like that's what kind of gets you hooked in the first film is what has happened, because it starts off dour. Like it starts off with him in a bad place, and then that's why he gets on his rampage essentially. And it's like, oh, so it feels pretty justified, but there's no real fleshing out of the character. It's just I wouldn't say he's generic either. He's just basic. I feel like there's a difference between generic, meaning that's very common type of character that you see. This is just a basic character. He's not like a whole bunch of other characters, but he's very simple. But it's not in a very grabbing way to me. It just isn't. Yeah, never finished it. What's funny, Rookie, is that some people who don't like Top Gun actually loved Maverick a lot more. Tabitha was one of them. Oh, well, I mean, Maverick, it's just, I don't know. Like Top Gun, the stuff, it's just not anywhere near my, you know, my list, Justin. You know, well, you don't really know, you don't know my list exactly, but you know I've got a lot that I'm tackling currently. Right now, I'm trying to finish Andor. We just finished The Last of Us. Angus and I are now, because we had some type of argument about the Planet of the Apes. We're watching the Planet of the Apes. We're going to watch all of the Planet of the Apes films again. We actually watched the Tim Burton one a while back and actually liked it. It was goofy, but we freaking liked it. And we're watching the trilogy next, and then we're going to go back and watch the old ones after that. I'm also trying to watch films as they come out, and I'm still trying to watch older films here and there. I think I'm going to have to plan out certain months to like have weeks in there to binge stuff like we did with Scream, because that was a good amount of like a good series to have in like one solid chunk. And for some series I might want to do that too, where I can, you know, chunk them out into a couple of days. Might be fun. And then Annoying Orange, it was on Cartoon Network. It started on YouTube. Well, he might have been on Adult Swim, which was like the nighttime Cartoon Network, from what I remember. I think that's where he ended up. But yeah, he started out on YouTube back in the day, and then somehow they gave him a show. And because I guess they saw that at that point, thinking that it'd be entertaining. And I don't know why. I don't see the humor in the like Annoying Orange thing. It's not funny. Is it supposed to be funny because it's not funny? Like one of those things? I don't know. I was just like looking at it, and I'm just like before the word cringe became popular, that's what describes the Annoying Orange, was just fucking cringe. That's what it was. John Wick's a Mary. No, I would not say that John Wick is a Mary Sue, but he's just not interesting. He kicks butt. He does Mary Sue would probably get through without much of a scratch. They might get a little cut, and that's it. He gets the shit kicked out of him. But that's all. There's no character with that, though. It's like he gets beat up, so he doesn't always win. He does need help from a few things at some points. He gets lucky a lot, but there's no fleshing out of his character regardless, which it's hard to get into that. That's just all it is. In college, we made a short film, a one-shot scene, same location, certain cinematic or certain climactic scene. You'll know when you see it. Is it the one that you showed me, Justin, or talking about a different one? I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to specifically there, but yeah. So we talked about a couple of these things. Talked about John Wick more than what I'd like to be honest. There's not much to talk about with them. What I mentioned is all there is pretty much to John Wick as it is. But Justin and I watched the Scream movies last week before the Scream 6 came out, before going to see that. And that was the first time that I watched that series, and I freaking love it. I posted videos on my channel with Justin and I talking about each of the films. However, since posting them, some of my thoughts have changed since then, and hearing what other people think about them. And I want to go and watch them again. I want to watch the whole series again and see what my thoughts are afterward, because I've only seen them all once. And there's some things that might stand out to me more watching them a second time, but I'm not ready to delve into it again right away. I want to watch them again right now, but I'm going to still wait a little while to let it simmer even more and get some other stuff in my head until then. But yeah, I do plan on rewatching them all again and then doing some more video. I want to do some Scream videos, man. Surprisingly enough, Scream has gotten me passionate to where I want to make freaking videos about it. So you might see those coming out in the future at some point, but I'm not going to be a Scream channel, but still. Oh, it's a different one. It's the same location. It's a climactic scene in the first Planet of the Apes. Oh, wow. Wait, your film that you did? So your short film was in the same location as the climactic scene in one of the first Planet of the Apes? Okay. Shit. I'm not sure where they filmed, so I don't have an idea in my head. And in one of the first films, I don't remember too much of the landscapes. I remember a lot of desert, like deserty looking shots or valleys. What am I thinking of? You know what I'm thinking of with the wording here. My memory is fading here on that. That's cool. When is our fan film reaction to Killer DJ coming out? That's a good question, Justin, because I keep on forgetting to make a thumbnail. Once I make a thumbnail, which should be, now that you reminded me, I'll probably try to work on that tonight and it should be out tomorrow. But I've also got to make I got to remember to release the clips first. I'm probably gonna release a clip, the clips of our reactions a little bit leading up to it, like every hour before the reaction, so that it's like a little impression of our reaction leading up to it all day. That might be the plan. It says, I won't tell you where we filmed it because it'll ruin it. Okay, well, that's okay. It'll be a nice, fun surprise again. I'll be watching the Planet of the Apes ones, and then I'll see your thing, and maybe I'll be able to connect the dots myself when I see that. That sounds cool though, Justin. I like that you're trying to go to the actual places and get some of that stuff going on there. But anyway, this was just going to be a pretty short stream for the most part. I was going to maybe talk about 65 and Mario, but I think I'm going to make my own videos on those, so I don't know if I want to talk about them here very much. All I know about the movie 65 is that it's an original film. I saw it for opening weekend when it came out. It is not doing so good. 65 with Adam Driver is not doing so good. A lot of people are calling it extremely boring, calling it very lame, calling it like a similar premise to The Last of Us, but it sucks. And I don't entirely agree with them, but it isn't super amazing either. I have it as pretty much a 5 out of 10 kind of range, which a lot of people see 5 out of 10 is like an F, a complete failure. But I see that as there's a lot of things that are good with it and a lot of things that are bad with it, but worth watching essentially. So I'm going to make a video talking about that today. I don't know when I'll post that. I've got a lot of videos I got to record. So believe it or not, before I get out of here, guys, I work on 3 channels. I work on the Rookie Critic channel, the Fandom Collective channel, and I've got another channel that has blown the fuck up. That's my Damsel History channel, because the video on the Rookie Critic did really good. I made it its own channel, and it just skyrockets, gets a bunch of views and stuff, monetization. I've made like over like $200 on ad revenue alone on that channel, and it's only been around for in about, I don't know, 2 days. It'll be a full year anniversary since I got that channel. And anyway, I've got like 50, I've got at least 50 videos, maybe more, maybe like 70 videos that are, I've got footage for them that I'm going to use in the clip, or that I'm going to use in the video. I've got all the stuff that I need for it. I just need to do an actual recording on all these videos. So they're like, 80% done. I have about 50 to 70 videos that are 80% done, that I need to do the finishing touches on all these videos. And then that's just for one channel. And then there's videos for the Fandom Collective channel that I've been working on. I've been actually trying to read some of the comic books that I've purchased in the past and never actually read or did a review on. And I'm starting to read those again. I just read about like 4 of them, and I wrote the quick, notes for them so I can do a review. But I find it hard to have the time to actually write a full script review of them and then record it, edit it, get all the footage that I need for it, and get all the things. So some of this stuff's going to take a little bit longer than I would like, but I am working on that stuff. And on the Rookie Critic channel, I'm going to be trying to get actual, like, the movies that I watch. I'm trying to get in the habit of recording them sooner rather than waiting a long time, because there's another like 6 movies that I watched a while back that I did not post a video on. Like, I watched RRR, I watched American Psycho, I watched Bullet Train, I watched Tenet, I watched a couple of films here, and I didn't post any of them on the Rookie Critic channel, which I'm supposed to. It's more for myself, so that I can keep track of like what I'm watching and what I thought about them when I first watched them, but also for you guys to see, oh, look, the Rookie Critic's actually watching movies. Isn't that great? Like that. But I'm read a few of your messages real quick before I head out. So yeah, he says, no, it's not doing good. What isn't? Wait, what's not doing good? Did I miss something? Yeah, make sure you message Killjoy Jake. Oh yes, so I'll message him, and I definitely want to talk to Killjoy Jake after watching it. One, to talk about his fan film specifically, but then also about Scream in general, because yeah, he loved Scream 6, and I feel a little different about it. You and I had our discussion about it, but maybe having conversation with somebody who's a huge Scream fan that's also made his own fan film. Of course, you're a Scream fan too, Justin. Not knocking that. Of course, you know what I mean. He's you're a level. I don't know what level you are, but he's a little bit higher after making the fan film for the Scream Scream passion, I should say there. Why am I even talking about passion? You know what I mean. I'm fudging up words right now, like I often do, and I am just going to keep on reading the chat. Let's see. John Campia liked 65, so obviously it must be good. If only a couple other people did. Jeremy Johns didn't like it. There's quite a few people that didn't like it, unfortunately. Yes, I wonder if I'd like it. So the one thing with 65 is don't go into the movie thinking that it's going to be a gigantic action-packed Adam Driver versus dinosaurs movie. It's a little more subtle than that, I guess. It's not going to be what you want. It'll be, I think it's like The Last of Us, but it's not as complex as The Last of Us is how I'd phrase it, I guess. He says, I doubt it now that everyone's dissing it. Kind of intrigues me. Well, it might, like I said, it probably won't be like, wow, this is a fucking awesome movie, but it might be like, oh, wow, I don't know what they're talking about. This one is all right. That's what I kind of think you'll come out of it thinking. But, I think because if anything, so for Curtis especially, it is an original movie. It's not based off of anything. It's an original idea here. And it's not tied to Disney. It's not an adaptation. It's just an original movie. It's not doing well. If it has a little bit more support, that would at least be something, because it's not from one of the bigger corporations that pump out shit all the time. I think Sam Raimi is involved with this as a producer as well. So if that tells you anything, I guess that's something. Personally, I don't care what directors are attached to anything. I just want to, because the movie can be shit or not. Like, Peter Jackson did Lord of the Rings, but also a bunch of other shit movies. So George Lucas, same thing, did Star Wars and then a lot of other shit movies. So I don't know. Let's see. He says, I heard the name 65 before watching the trailer, so I thought it was about Adam Driver becoming an old person and retiring, a literal coming of age story. Hey, I could see Adam Driver doing that one day. Yeah, why not? Yeah, Adam Driver is really good in the movie. His acting is good. Nothing to joke at here. He says, I'm so happy you watched American Psycho. Makes Killjoy Jake's movie make a lot more sense. Yes, it does, especially for the scene that references American Psycho entirely. Yes, makes a lot more sense. He says, oh no, Jake is way above me in the Scream fan. He made the movie. Yeah, notice is there. Exactly. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I don't know what to say at the end of this. I guess, yeah, you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys soon. I'm going to be trying to stream again next week. I don't know who will be the guests, though I might try to have Justin on, as well as get Heartland Studios back, see if I can get Jay back, the guy who did the Power Rangers fan film that we reacted to, and he came on and we chatted. That might be fun if we could do one of those again and do maybe at least a live reaction to another fan film of some kind. That might be fun, but that might be later on into April. I'm not sure. I'm trying to plan these out a little bit better as well. So still working on guest schedules and whatnot. So until then, I will see you later, which I probably should have pressed the end broadcast button before